Joe Caviston. What's up, my friend?
How you doing, John?
We're heading into year 12 of the Electric City Music Conference and Steamtown Awards.
Almost a teenager.
Yeah, man, this is it's amazing that it keeps going. Not that I have doubt that it should keep going, but just the fact that it's a lot of work. As we've talked about in the past, I joked the other day when we were talking about how I don't know how you sleep or when you sleep because you are a husband, a father, you have a full time career in higher education. You do the emo nights, which keeps you pretty busy. Talk to me about as we enter the 12th year of the ECMCs and, why you keep doing it.
This is my gift back, or I don't know if it's a gift, but it's my way to try to give back to the community, right? Like the the Electric City Music Conference, the Steamtown Music Awards, it's a loss leader to talk in like food terms, right? Like it's that cheeseburger that you don't make any money on, but you bring the people in to buy the beer, right? So with the time, energy, effort that goes into this, like nobody's making a dime off it, but it's a nice event that is able to showcase the artists that we have in our area and also bring artists from other areas to Scranton. Music has given me a lot in my life. It's been on the personal side of just, giving me a place to exist and be myself and excel in, but also as far as a career, like I've done a lot of really cool stuff, continue to do a lot of really great things that I enjoy in music. So this is my one time a year where I can kind of give back to the area and the music scene that let me cut my teeth, that let me make all the mistakes that I made for so many years, learning that. And this is how I try to give back to that area. And I think after 12 years, we're getting there. I think I'm almost giving back a little bit.
I would say you definitely are. There was a point in time that you said if you made it past, was it year 5 or year 7? I forget what it was. That you'd be like, all right, well, we have to keep going. What year was that?
Yeah. So originally it was 5. I think I said Ken Norton used to be my partner in this, and still one of my good friends. And I remember like at year 2, 3, it was pretty stressful, and we are like, if we make it to year 5, then like we'll be good. And year 5 came, and that was great. But then I was like, man, if it ever gets to year 10, I don't know if I can stop at that point because it becomes a little bit of an institution. And I mean, I'm going to do it as long as I can, and I've been developing a team around me the last couple of years of guys that are a little bit younger, which has been a really cool chance to like do the mentorship thing and bring some other people in and teach them some tips and tricks. And maybe eventually I hand it off to them, or take a couple steps back from it. But I'm not getting any younger, so it's nice to have people that can do some of the stuff that I either don't have time for or I wouldn't want to fall by the wayside and not get the attention it needs. But it's also just cool because the conference is at its essence all about learning. At the end of the day, like that's the biggest thing is the musicians are learning, the professionals are learning. So also being able to teach people the ins and outs on our side too, that I could teach them some of the things that I've learned, and it's really cool the last couple of years to watch some of them like take the lead on things, which I've enjoyed.
Talk about some of those learning experiences that you're offering. There's a lot of panels and a lot of opportunities for musicians to learn from, financial advisors, sound engineers. Talk about why those are so important to this whole event.
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously the most important one is the one that you're speaking on, but
Of course.
um, yes. So I always try to tell bands, playing your set is awesome, but the networking opportunities at this conference and the educational opportunities are a much bigger deal, and a lot less people take advantage of them than I wish they would. And that's every conference across the country. Musicians are artists first, and the performance is their focus, which is completely understandable. But they're important because if you want to take something to the next level, then you can learn some of the soft skills or some of the hard skills that can really help get you there. Be that how to budget your money if you want to go on tour, be that how to talk to media locally to get your name out there when you're first starting out locally, and at a national level when you're trying to take your things to the next level, or just how to get your guitar to sound right on stage, or the difference between not having to be too loud or catering your sound to a certain room. Meeting the other bands is also huge, and the other people there, because so many people that are playing this conference, maybe I met at another conference, or people that are coming to speak, I met other places. And it's not always easy to break into a new market specifically. So there's going to be talent buyers there from other cities and other markets that you could meet and get in, or trade a show with the band. That's the other thing, is like play your set, but then go see as many bands as you can, because you make those connections, and that's your into, Jersey City or State College or Harrisburg. Or Connecticut or Alabama, South Carolina. There's bands from all over the East Coast and Midwest playing. So you connect with those bands, that could go a longer way than anything you do this weekend.
And I imagine these sessions are probably more important than ever before because bands are so DIY now. They don't have a team behind them. It's if there's five guys in a band, each one of those guys is like, all right, you're doing social media, you're doing media outreach, you're doing this, and you're doing that. So it's such an important thing to take advantage of because of the climate that we're in and how things are kind of operating now.
It really is. It's never been easier to be in a band and make it. And at the same time, it's never been harder to be in a band and make it, right? Because right now, all of the tools are at your disposal. There's no glass ceiling anymore to a certain extent. But also, it's harder because there's so many more bands. Because it's so accessible, it's so much harder to then go out and do that, because there's muddied water, right? There's everybody out there trying to do it. 10 times as many as there were in the 90s, or 10 times as many as there were in the 2000s, 100 times more than there were in the 90s. And even if you get to a certain level where maybe you have a small record deal, you're not getting the team to push you that you used to get. You're going to have to do a lot of it on your own, or the bigger record labels want you to come as a package already. They want you to have all of that together. They want your image. They want your songs. They want you to come as a package that they can then just market and act as a marketing agency to push you to the next level.
Yeah, I talked to a lot of bands, and you joked that you never listened to my podcast, and that's fine. But I always say, like, to the bands, I don't envy the amount of work they have to do, because you said earlier how, like, they're musicians, they're creating art, and now they have to do all these other things, TikTok and social media and graphic design and all that kind of stuff. So it's like it's a lot for everybody to kind of have to navigate.
It really is. And I mean, you're seeing it too, though, because you're even doing a podcast that I don't listen to. You have to do all of those things too. I do
Yeah.
listen to it, but you have to do all those things as well, right? You're not just a podcaster anymore. You have to be clipping things. You have to be posting places. You have to be on social media. I think it's the world as a whole, right? You don't just own a coffee house anymore. You also have to be a content creator. And I think that's one of the cool panels that we have. We have a panel centered around creating video content and how that can help you move forward, and maybe some tips and tricks that make it a little bit easier, because it's daunting. But at the end of the day, like, I would tell anybody as a marketer for anything, just post, right? Like, what's the worst that could happen? And also, don't be discouraged by something not going viral, because the way I've grown to look at things over the years, especially now where followers don't really matter, is think about if 100 people were in a room. Like, if you get 100 views on a video, like, you're like, oh man, that stinks. But it's like, think of 100 people in a room watching your band. Like, that's pretty good. So if you're getting 5,000, think of a 5,000 person show. Like, that exposure, or that attention, we're an attention economy now, right? That's what they say. So that's the way to look at it. And I think these things that you can learn at the conference can just help propel that even further.
Yeah. Well, let's get to the fun stuff. The whole weekend kicks off on Thursday, September 11th, with the Steamtown Music Awards at the V Spot in Scranton. Talk about that night and kind of what people can expect and how it might be different this year than previous years, how it might be the same. But talk about the awards.
Yeah, one of my favorite nights of the year.
Mine too.
At its essence, great networking, great hang session, if nothing else, right? So we run like any other award show, but think of it as Scranton-fied or Scranton Scrantastic, I guess. We're gonna have a red carpet. You're gonna get interviewed. You're gonna have some photos taken. We're gonna have some social media influencers doing a couple interviews on the red carpet this year as well, and then Rich doing the live stream on Northeast PA Scene as we've had in you know almost. I think he's probably done 8 of the 12 live streamed, which is really cool. If not more than that, I could be wrong. It could be even more. I don't know how long live streaming's been around. But we'll have that. We'll give out 35 awards. We'll have celebrity guest presenters. We'll have amazing performances by local artists, and we'll have some people that are mad at me the next day when they don't win an award. So that's one of the things that never changes. But as I say to everybody, like the actual award is way less than the fact that we've been promoting the nominees, right? Like that's the other thing that I urge people to look at this as is you get nominated for this award, so you're asking people to pay attention to you. And those people are then supporting you, paying attention to you, buying into your team, however you want to look at it. And then you have our engine of, the push behind those artists to then get their name out there even further. And everybody's kind of paying attention to, maybe you're a country fan, you're paying attention to those country artists for that week. Good or bad, the attention's there. So winning the award is kind of secondary to the push and the marketing that's kind of behind you for those couple months leading up to it.
Yeah, it really is a great night. It's one of my favorite nights of the year too, because I don't get out as much as I'd like to these days. Married, 2 kids, full schedule of baseball games and dance classes and all that kind of stuff. So it's really a great opportunity to, regardless of the awards, it's just a great opportunity, like you said, to just kind of mingle with other musicians and kind of see them in person. Because I do so many of these podcasts or virtually. So it's an awesome time to be able to get in the same room and shake someone's hand and be able to say, hey, like that song you wrote is amazing, or your band is awesome, and the best of luck to you.
Well, 100%. There's people that like you said, we're getting older, baseball, soccer, all that stuff. Like I don't get out as much as I'd like to. And then also we're on the road almost every weekend doing our thing. So it's really hard for me to get out anymore. And when I have those couple downtime weekends, I try to, relax maybe. So it's great to see people that I don't get to see as much. Maybe I only see them a couple times a year. Hugs, shake hands, all of that. But also, like, if you're a band, this is a great opportunity to, like you said, get face to face with people. Like, if you want to play at the V Spot, I don't know if there's a better night to be there. Vinny and Frank will be there. Maybe a couple cocktails in hand, so they'll be a little warmed up. And no matter who you are, it's a lot harder to say no to somebody when they're face to face, right? Be that me, be that you to ask you to be on the podcast, Vinny to play there. And also we invite all of the bands that are playing that weekend to come to the award show for free. So you're going to have bands that come into town early from Connecticut, New York City, all of that. You can network with them, walk around, shake hands, get to know everybody, and maybe develop some really cool relationships or have some great memories.
You talked about Frank and Vinny at the V Spot and having a drink in hand. I forget what year it was, but Frank actually spit whiskey directly into my eye.
Oh, I thought you were going to say your mouth.
No, I would have rathered my mouth.
He was baby birding you.
Yeah. No, right in the eye.
Yes.
But and that's, you've been having it at the V Spot, the awards, and nights, Friday and Saturday nights shows there too. That's been a staple and a building block, I guess you could say, a foundation, if you will, of this weekend.
It really is. The awards are, kind of like a shiny object that a lot of people focus on. So for a lot of years, once it started taking off, probably around like year 3 or 4, when it started getting a little bigger, there were a lot of other venues that reached out and were like, making offers and wanted it to come there. And it's never going anywhere until the V Spot kicks us out. Like, I sound like a broken record. I say that all the time. It's almost like a catchphrase at this point, but we're at the V Spot for the awards until Frank or Vinny, give us the boot. It is home for the awards, and it just wouldn't feel right anywhere else. And they're super generous with their time, with their space. They become really good friends of mine. I didn't really know Vinny prior to doing this event. And now he's like mentor, confidant, good friend of mine, and I love him. I love his family. I love Frank, and we won't go anywhere else until they finally say like get out. They're so kind. They bring in a tent. They extend their license to the parking lot, and they're very gracious. And it's home. I enjoy it there.
Is there a category you're looking forward to the most, whether you're presenting or just in general that night at the awards?
I think everything's stacked this year. There's a lot of new young artists that are nominated for a lot of categories this year, which is great. And there's a lot of the staples and you know local legends that we all know and love. But I was surprised and happy to see a lot of new talent kind of emerging this year in the nominations, which was great. So I'm excited for all of them. Probably podcaster of the year is probably the one I'm most looking forward to. That's usually the most heated. I enjoy that one. Or radio host of the year. I think
Come
it's
on.
like podcaster slash no. But I mean, artist of the year is always a fun one
Mhm.
because it's kind of it can be it's wide open, right? I'm really excited. Actually, I don't take that back, but one that I am very excited about is live performance of the year. We've done live performer of the year before, but we've never done live performance of the year. So this year it's actual performance that took place, and there's some really really good ones in there that I'm excited to see who takes that one home.
I'm excited too. You have a couple new venues this year. If I'm wrong, please correct me, but Sergey's Live in downtown Scranton, formerly Tanks, formerly Hardware Bar, formerly something else I can't remember at
Boom
the
Beach
moment.
Club,
What's that?
the Boom Boom Beach Club.
Yeah, that was a long time ago. Black and Brass, I saw you're doing like a kind of a cool acoustic thing there. That's a new place on the corner across from where the Steamtown Mall is, and Solstice Bar.
And
And
Union
then,
Viewers.
yeah, Union Vapors. Union Vapors is a little bit outside of the downtown vicinity, but they really kind of come into their own as far as a venue supporting these local artists.
They are. Ken's doing really cool stuff up there. He's doing it for the right reason. He's doing it the right way. So I really wanted to support that. I really wanted them to be part of it. I think it's really cool. I also love that it's another chance. This year we have more all age venues than we've ever been able to have before, which is really cool because we have Shake Space, which we've partnered with for a couple years, and that's kind of our charity arm of the conference. Like I love what they do. I love that venue, and I also love the Scranton Shakespeare's Festival. So every year we give all of the profits directly to them from that room. So they take that and hopefully it helps with rent, with whatever they need over there. And that's an all age spot that we've been able to have. And then also now Union Vapors is going to be a really cool room, and we can have like a little bit heavier bands there that make a little more sense for that room. And I think that'll be really neat to have them in there. And then the Black and Brass will also, or Brass and Black. I haven't slept in a couple days.
It's okay.
Will also be an all age venue, which is cool. And those are two shows that I'm really excited about: the Solstice one and the Coffee House sessions, because they kind of came together towards the end a little bit. And we're calling them side quests. So there's going to be an EDM show that was going to happen regardless, and they kind of reached out and said, "Hey, we'd love to partner up." I don't know EDM. For years, I've wanted EDM to become a bigger part of the conference. I just don't have that in my wheelhouse. I love the music. I think it's great. I just I'm old and I'm not familiar with it. So I think this could lead to a more permanent part of the conference in years to come with more featured EDM artists and DJs and things like that, which I think will be great. And then the coffee house sessions I think are going to be really neat because there's going to give artists a completely unplugged. They're going to sit there, have an intimate experience with fans. And then also Roderick is going to do their meet and greet that they do in every city when they play there as well, which will be a really neat chance for fans to come and connect with them directly and take pictures, and they'll do some autographs and stuff.
That's cool. And then, of course, you have the usual suspects, the Bog, the V Spot, Backyard Ale House. You mentioned Shake's Place and Mutant Brewing.
Correct. Yeah. Yep. So this is the first year we're doing full bands at Mutant because they have the stage and sound system in there now. We've done them acoustic the last couple of years. So this will be the first time that they're like a fully participating venue, and also the first time Sergey's will be as well. So we're very excited to have them on board.
Yeah. And then, of course, we'll kind of close things out with Emo Night returns for its 8th year.
It is, yeah.
Back where it started. The tiers will continue to fall.
Yes, yeah. So the whole Emo Night thing started at the Electric City Music Conference as a joke. Hirsch and I thought it would be funny to DJ emo music at the Bog 8 years ago, and it sold out. And we were like, okay, we got something here. So that's kind of taken off. And we did our 5-year anniversary show a couple years ago as part of the conference at the Bog. And then last year we did 7-year anniversary show. This year we're kind of throwing it back to where we really kind of took off and gained legs at Stage West. So we're turning Mutant Brewing into Stage West that night for one night only, and we're gonna do some cool stuff there. We're very excited for that. I don't know how excited my legs and feet will be after it, for the rest of the conference, but we're gonna have a good time. I hope some people maybe that haven't made it out to an emo night in a while can come out and kind of relive some of the glory days with us. So,
and that's on Friday, September 12th.
Correct. Yes, that is Friday, September 12th. And then we also that same night we have, the next night we have Sat One, who I'm very excited about, legendary DJ from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, coming up. You're talking DJ'd for everybody from Questlove to Eminem, mentored by DJ Jazzy Jeff, one of the premier guys out of Philly. That's really cool. I don't know if he's ever played Scranton before, but if he has, it's been a while, and we're really excited to have him come up.
Very cool. Well, it's going to be an amazing weekend of music in Scranton, like always. I'm excited because after this little interview ends, I'm going to rip through probably about between 30 and 35 musicians that are either performing at this weekend's event and or have been nominated for an award this year. So we're doing a 3-hour Popko Project Radio experience. First time it's gone past an hour, so I'm excited to kind of highlight all these artists in a different way as we wrap things up here.
Well, thank you very much for doing that on top of everything else that you already do for local musicians and the local music scene. That's 3 hours of radio airwaves dedicated to local musicians, and it seems like it might just seem like a small thing to somebody who doesn't understand, but that's a lot of airtime to dedicate to local musicians. So I appreciate it. Hopefully, the local artists appreciate it as well as how much you're doing for them there.
Yeah, I mean, it's truly my pleasure. I mean, I've been doing this for a long time, and I always say that I would put this area in this city and this scene up against anyone else's in the entire country because I think it's that good, and it's an honor for me to be able to share their music, whether or not anyone's listening.
Well, we appreciate it. I don't listen to your podcast, or I would know that you say that. But no, I truly do appreciate all that you do for real. I hope that people realize what a big deal that is.
Yeah. And if people want more information, electriccitymusicconference.com is the website people can go to.
Yep.
Obviously, everywhere on social media, they can check out your pages and kind of see who's playing where, what time, what location, and kind of map out their weekend.
Yeah, all the information is electriccitymusicconference.com. Any updates that happen, and they will come through social media. There's 100 bands playing. Somebody's going to get a flat tire. Somebody's going to get sick. Somebody's probably going to flake.
Yeah.
So when we have to fill some gaps or something, you could find any changes on our social media.
And full disclosure, Joe and his team did not pick any of these musicians that I'm about to play. They are all chosen by me. If you're not going to be featured tonight, it's one of 3 reasons. I didn't have enough time, or I don't have your music. So if I don't have your music, I do this show every weekend and feature local artists. And if you want to be featured, please, by all means, you can head over to fuzz961.com and enter there, or you can hit me up on social media, and we can connect that way, and I'll get your tunes that way. But Joe, best of luck this weekend. 12 years is an amazing feat. You have to go to at least 15 now. I mean,
Yeah, we have to. We're at 12, lucky number 13 next year, and then we gotta get to at least 15, and then maybe we'll turn the reins over to somebody else. But
nice.
I'm still feeling all right. And yeah, anybody that has any complaints, you can email those to djhirsch20 at hotmail.com.
Hotmail, yeah, he's still a Hotmail guy.
Hotmail.com, yeah.
Well, Joe, thanks for everything you and your team do. I'm going to go rip some local music, and I will see you on Thursday at the awards.
Thank you.
All right, man. Thanks.
Thanks.